Hello everybody and welcome back to another edition of Dime Box Discoveries. No, I don't actually have Dime Box cards because I haven't been able to make it to a show in a little while due to some family obligations and things like that. But I do have some things off of eBay and some through the mail trades I want to show you here. Just some neat stuff kind of piled up and I want to show it off a little bit. So, normally I'm paying dimes for things. Well, this time I really stepped up. $50 including shipping for a Roger Staubach rookie card. And it's actually in my opinion, pretty nice shape. Now, this is very exciting for me because Roger Staubach, of course, is from Cincinnati. So this is a rookie card of one of the guys that I really try and collect, a Cincinnati native. Kind of got a ding in the corner there. But overall, really nice card, really beautiful. One of my most favorite cards in my collection. So, fantastic card. All right. An autographed card of Stump Mitchell. I don't know why I bought it off eBay. I just did. Watching football in the 80s, I always thought he was probably better than he was because then I saw his stats. I'm like, oh, this guy, had like 1,000-yard rushing year, but still kind of cool and I dig it. Now, here's one of my most favorites. This is an autographed card of Jon Knott. And you're going to say, well, who is Jon Knott and why is he important? Well, he's kind of not in the grand scheme of things of baseball, but this one's kind of personal to me. See, because Jon Knott is from Venice, Florida, which is where my parents live. Well, when Jon Knott's short-lived baseball career ended, he moved back to Venice, Florida and became my financial advisor. This guy is actually my parents' financial advisor. So my inheritance relies in this guy's hands. John, I need you to do well. So here's the funny story of this all. This was 41 cents. It was more expensive for them to ship it to me than I paid for it. And what I didn't know, as I was telling my parents I bought this card and they both laughed, they said, Jon Knott's mom is in a book club with my mom and she comes to my parents' house every 2 weeks. Had no idea. So they told Jon Knott's mom about my purchasing his autographed rookie card for 41 cents and she called him. And Jon Knott laughed and he said, you know what? I've got a bunch of cards in my office. I'll sign them for free, however many you want. So that's how I made a former professional Major League Baseball player laugh and made his day. She said that his mom said that John was really tickled by it and was really great. I thought that was really fantastic. So literally great story there. But here's the cool thing. When we talk about, baseball, how can you not be romantic about baseball, right? The great line from Moneyball. The story of Jon Knott is this. He had 37 career plate appearances, 31 career at-bats. Hit 1 home run in his 31 career at-bats. He was playing for the Baltimore Orioles at the time and hit that 1 home run against the Tampa Bay Rays in Tampa, his home team, his home city, with his entire family in attendance. So 1 career home run, did it in his home city with his family all in attendance. So how cool is that? That's the story of Jon Knott, my parents' financial advisor, and apparently his mom is friends with my mom. Who knew? Fun stuff for 41 cents. I think it's worth it. Now, last time in one of my videos, I found a random card out of this set, and my guy Randy pointed out what it was from. This is it's like, classic 4-sport, but it's different. See, this is a McDonald's prototype set, test set. It was only released in a few specific places in the country, certain parts of Pennsylvania, Florida, Delaware, some other places like that. So I thought this is really cool. It's a food set. It's an oddball set. It's a regional set. It fits everything I like. I want to buy the set. And I went on eBay and looked, and all the sets were like, I don't know, was shipping $6-7 for the set or something. And then I ran across a posting with free shipping, and it was 4 sets, 4 complete sets. And it was supposed to be like $18, $19 or something. But because I looked at it, the guy made me an offer of like $13, literally $13 for 4 complete sets. I'm like, geez, I can't pass it up. So I paid $13 for 4 complete sets. Let's show you who is in these complete sets, by the way. There's a Troy Aikman in his UCLA gear, which is really cool. Drew Bledsoe, Eric Curry. Here we go. Garrison Hurst. He had a nice career running back there. 49ers, Bengals, and some others. See who else kind of go through this a little bit. OJ McDuffie. Played for the Dolphins, I believe. There's Rick Meyer. This is the original card that I found that kind of led me to this set. Here's who else is in it. So it's really neat. I'm going to show you in a second. So you're like, who is this guy and why is he in the set? Because he played for the Hershey Bears. You can see the Bears there. And of course, that's who that's the area of which the cards were released by McDonald. So what it was is when you bought some food, you got a 5-card pack. You open the pack, and here's what's in it. So this is literally, so you got 5 cards, open it up as a 35 card set. So really cool. So you see, oh, this random dude here, Andre Faust. I don't know what it is, but he's Hershey Bear. So he's in the set. Now, Roman Hamrlik was a 3-time All-Star, so he went on to be something really good. So that's kind of a cool card. Mark Recchi, very good player. Here you go, the very first woman to ever play in a professional hockey game. She was a goalie. Another random Hershey Bear. So this is really cool. So you've got guys as random as Troy Aikman and this random dude here. Teemu Selanne, not random, an excellent player, made some All-Star games. So, and then here's Penny Hardaway in his Memphis State, not Memphis, Memphis State, by the way, gear. Jimmy Jackson from Ohio State, Christian Laettner, of course, Jamal Mashburn, Baby Jordan, Harold Miner. This one's kind of neat. Bull and Baby Bullets, Greg Luzinski and his son. So Alonzo Mourning is in this set. Shaquille O'Neal, LSU jersey in the set. That's really, really cool. There's Weatherspoon, C. Webb, Chris McConnell, Phil Nevin, the can't-miss prospect who sort of missed, although he actually ended up having a decent little Major League Baseball career, but not to what he was supposed to be. Paul Shuey. I don't know what Derek Wallace is going on here. He was the first-round draft pick in the Major League Baseball draft. And finally, Sean Wills. But I got 4 of these complete sets for $13. I figure I'll keep one and then trade the rest away. All right, moving right along. Some great trades. I've mentioned Randy before. You'll see him pop up in the comments and things. So Randy likes to send me some cards. And I just sent him a whole stack back with some cool stuff. But he definitely sends me cooler stuff, Randy. You definitely are in the lead, man, in terms of cool stuff, man. And I dig it. But Randy also, it's not just cards he sends me. He sends me these notes. So I want to show you the cards he sent me and talk about the notes he sent me because it's some really cool history stuff. It's really thoughtful, and I really appreciate that because I like to talk about history here, the local stuff, and then, like random things like Jon Knott's 1 home run being, in front of his family in Tampa. Really kind of cool. So let me show you. All right, we start here with the Tony Taylor rookie card. Very cool here. He says it's on the Phillies Wall of Fame. That's really kind of neat here. I dig that. All right. Don Bass caught a TD pass in the Freezer Bowl win over the Chargers. Now, if you don't know the Freezer Bowl, apparently 400,000 different people attended the game in Cincinnati, the playoff game for the Bengals against the Chargers. Because they'll tell you they were there, but the stadium only holds like 80,000, so whatever. But the Freezer Bowl, the feels like temps, apparently were negative 44 degrees. There were stories of people spilling their drinks and then standing, it was around their feet, and their feet froze to the stadium, to the concrete in a matter of minutes. So, coldest NFL game ever, I do believe. Jack Lambert, he just says, ugh, Pittsburgh Steelers, from a Bengals fan, of course. Jim Taylor is in the Football Hall of Fame. That's really cool. Let's check this out. Man was a beast. Dude was a freaking beast, man. He was 1,000 yards rushing, 9 TDs, 61 career touchdowns. And this wasn't like today's day and age where you see guys racking up 12 to 18 TDs almost on the regular. So really cool. Andy Messersmith, Optographics created the Sports Flicks and these Kellogg's cards. Yes, they did. That's very cool. I love my food stuff, so I love the Kellogg's card. Very cool. I said Thurman Munson would have been Hall of Fame if he didn't die in the plane crash, and he's right. Munson probably was on a Hall of Fame projected career. Here we have Kellogg's. Once again, I love my food stuff. And Tom Mott, he was a quarterback at Ohio State for Woody Hayes, but then in the NFL he became a running back. Check it out. He led the NFL in rushing touchdowns. So he went from a quarterback to a running back who also was a very good receiver. So we always think of guys now as being, he can run and receive. There were guys back in the past who did this and did it well. So, and Tom Mott was one of the originals in the 1960s. Leroy Kelly, first of all, look at that, man. This feels like the look you see on all the cards of Eddie Murray, especially through the 80s. This is the card. You don't want to screw with this guy. And you don't want to screw him so much, in fact, that this is card number 1 in the set, which is awesome. And he's a Hall of Famer. So super cool. I totally dig that from Morgan State. Look at that, man. Rushed for 1,239 yards, averaged 5 yards carry, 16 TDs. Man, dude, whew. He put up some numbers, didn't he? All right, okay then. No wonder why he's in the Hall of Fame. This is really cool. I'd never heard of this. Dave Stallworth. If you look in the back here, Nick's forward, you're like, okay, all right, numbers, nothing special. Did not play. What are those 2 years he missed? According to my guy Randy here, he says Yeah, he missed 2 years after his heart attack in 1967. Dude had a heart attack, missed 2 years, and then came back and kept playing. That is awesome. Bob Johnson played for KC and the Oakland A's. I dig that as an A's fan. Now, this is really cool here. These are both 1972 OPC CFL cards. Seriously, Canadian football. Check out the Blue Bombers, Rob McLaren there, and this is a pro action one. So really cool. He said he used to go to Canada with his family in the 70s and 80s. So he became a fan of the CFL, which is totally cool, and I dig that and everything. So he says OPC was not known for good quality control printing, but these are in really nice shape. But I do love this one, Pro Action. What's going on here, man? I guess it's a pass, but for a Pro Action picture, you'd think it would be a little bit better. But these are super cool. Totally do this. Rob McLaren. This is really neat. They talk about this. So see, Simon Fraser University in Canada, not an import. He's a Canadian because you're only allowed to have a certain number of imports. You have to have a certain number of Canadian players on the team. So, and he also got it in French for those who can read French are at the bottom. Very cool. All right, that was one group he sent me. Here's the other group. Let's start off here. 1968 Topps football poster. I think this is totally, totally awesome. Jim Nantz. Look at this. So the poster, they came in wax packs folded up. This is so cool, man. Can you imagine 1968? People weren't collecting them because they were like, oh, I want to keep the value of this. These were like posts all over kids' walls. Like Jim Nantz was awesome. I want to be like Jim Nantz. They put it on their walls. They had it in their lockers. That's so cool. I totally dig this and how neat that is. So that is a poster right there. 1968 Topps poster. Very cool. Put that over here. A couple of 1970 baseball scratch-offs that are unscratched with Boog Powell and Louis Aparicio. Totally dig that. Bob Greasy says the best QB. It's a Topps glossy, by the way. Says the best QB from Purdue in his opinion. And that's a bold statement because you also have from Purdue, obviously, Drew Brees. So Bob Greasy's versus Drew Brees. Which one is the better quarterback from Purdue? That's a good question. Very interesting. Here we go. 1980s base. You got Carl Yastrzemski here, which I did not know. He mentions that he was the last out in the Reds' 1975 World Series win. Very cool, very epic World Series. Truly one of the greatest World Series in the history of the game. Carlton Fisk off the foul pole. Come on, man. Which, of course, also led to a classic scene and one of the most classic lines in cinema history in Good Will Hunting. Of course, said by Robin Williams. Sorry, guys, I got to go see about a girl. Fantastic line. But here's what I really think is cool, and this is why I love when Rainey sends me stuff. All that stuff, the last line of this note here, it says, yeah, he's also the son of a Maine potato farmer. That's so random and so cool to know. So Carl Yastrzemski, his dad's out there farming potatoes. Carl's out here hitting bombs. I love it, man. A couple of 1975 Topps minis. Hall of Famers, actually, Harmon Killebrew and Billy Martin. Wasn't Billy Martin hired and fired 4 different times by Steinbrenner? Anyway, those two should have been the odd couple. That would have been much more entertaining. Imagine if there was Hard Knocks, but for baseball, and it was the Yankees when you had Steinbrenner and Billy Martin. That would have been entertaining. And finally, last and certainly not least, this is super cool. This is a check this out, 1951 Topps Wax Packs wrapper. So this is what the cards came in 1951 Topps. It wasn't like you've seen I have one or two around here somewhere. I should have freaking brought one out to show you. You can look them up, 1951 Topps. They were like a game, actually. So they had flyout, strikeout, double, home run, single, stolen base, things like that in the cards. They really were the precursor to Topps, really doing normal baseball cards in 1952. So this is super cool. Can you imagine kids cracking this open? It was 2 cards for a penny and just pulling out the cards and living the dream, man. I mean, so cool. There you go. 2 cards in every pack, 1 cent. I love this, by the way. You can see some of the cards from 1951 Topps, including the boxes they came in and these card wrappers in the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame, which I was just at 2 days ago. Anyway, so those are my things. Rookie card of one of the greatest quarterbacks in history and one of the greatest athletes to ever come out of the Cincinnati area. So that will go in my Cincinnati rookie cards collection. I didn't think I'd ever get that one. So really cool to get that one for $50. And then, of course, the Jon Knott, really neat with the connection there. And then just the McDonald's thing. I thought that was really cool to get 4 complete sets for $13. Anyway, Thank you all for listening. Have a great day. Enjoy the hobby as you like. And of course, spread the love. We'll see you all later. Bye.